Did you know that the original king of smartphones wasn't Apple or Samsung, but a little device with a tiny keyboard called the BlackBerry? Long before iPhones dominated pockets and Androids filled shelves, BlackBerry was the ultimate symbol of status, power, and innovation. It wasn't just a phone, it was the phone used by CEOs, presidents, and millions of loyal fans worldwide. But how did a tech giant that once shaped the future of communication fade into near obscurity? To understand the story behind it, let's dive back to 1998. History of BlackBerry. Before sleek, all touchscreen smartphones became the norm, a small, button-filled device transformed the way the world communicated. This was the BlackBerry. Behind its creation was a Canadian tech company called Research in Motion, RIM, founded in 1984 in Waterloo, Ontario by Mike Lazaridis and Douglas Fragan. In its early years, RIM focused on developing wireless data technologies, including modem cards and connectivity software. However, it wasn't until the late 1990s that the company would find its true breakthrough. In 1998, RIM introduced the interactive pager 950, a compact device with a small screen and miniature keyboard that enabled users to send and receive messages in real time. Though simple by today's standards, this innovation planted the seeds for mobile communication as we know it. But the real game changer came in 1999 with the launch of the BlackBerry 850 pager. It introduced a revolutionary feature, push email, which allowed emails to be delivered instantly to the device without the user having to manually check. This innovation made BlackBerry indispensable for professionals who relied on timely communication. Then, in 2000, RIM raised the bar again by launching the BlackBerry 957, one of the earliest devices that could be classified as a true smartphone. It offered wireless, secure, and constant access to emails, making it a powerful tool for business executives, government officials, and IT professionals who needed reliable, on-the-go connectivity. Its strong encryption and security features made it especially appealing to enterprise users, setting BlackBerry apart in a market that was still discovering mobile data. Following this success, RIM expanded its product line with a series of devices that gained global popularity. Models like the BlackBerry Pearl, Curve, and Bold brought the brand to mainstream users beyond just the corporate world. These phones combine functionality with style, offering features like media players, cameras, and internet browsing, all while keeping the iconic physical QWERTY keyboard that fans adored. By the mid-2000s, BlackBerry had become a symbol of professionalism and productivity, with its signature red blinking light becoming an icon of urgency and importance. This rise marked the start of a new era where mobile communication would become central to both business and personal life, and BlackBerry was leading the charge. The game changer. By the mid-2000s, BlackBerry had reached the height of its success. It wasn't just a phone, it was a status symbol. Carrying a BlackBerry meant you were someone important, often linked with CEOs, business executives, politicians, and celebrities. The device became essential for professional life, known for its strong security, push email, and that iconic QWERTY keyboard. People were so attached to their BlackBerries that a new term was coined: BlackBerry addiction. It was common to see people constantly checking their phones during meetings, dinners, or even vacations. By January 2010, BlackBerry had over 41 million users around the world and was the clear leader in the US smartphone market, holding a 43% market share. In 2009, RIM's rapid rise earned it the title of Fortune's fastest growing company, showing just how dominant and respected it had become in the tech world. In terms of value, the company was soaring. In mid-2008, RIM's stock price reached an all-time high of $147, showing how confident investors were in its future. But what BlackBerry didn't realize was that a major shift had already begun the year before. In 2007, Apple introduced the iPhone, a sleek touchscreen device that combined phone, music, internet, and apps all in one. At the time, RIM didn't take it seriously. Executives believed it was just a fancy toy meant for young people who liked games and entertainment. This turned out to be a huge mistake. The iPhone was not just a new phone, it was the beginning of a new mobile era. Its App Store, touchscreen interface, and user-friendly design made it appealing not just to consumers, but also to the very professionals BlackBerry had always targeted. Soon after, Google entered the market with Android, giving users even more choices with powerful features. Competitors like Samsung, HTC, and Motorola quickly began launching smartphones with touchscreen technology and app ecosystems that matched or even surpassed what BlackBerry was offering. Suddenly, BlackBerry was no longer the only option for business communication. The market was now full of smartphones that could do email, browsing, and so much more. And BlackBerry's once loyal users started switching to Apple and Android devices. In response, BlackBerry attempted to adapt. In 2008, it released its first touchscreen phone, the BlackBerry Storm. At first, sales were promising and many hoped it would be a worthy competitor to the iPhone. However, the Storm was rushed to market and suffered from major performance problems. So users complained about its sluggish software, poor touchscreen experience, and lack of apps. What was meant to be a bold comeback instead damaged the brand's image. For the first time, analysts, the media, and investors began questioning whether BlackBerry could hold on to its leadership position. The company, once seen as unstoppable, was now facing the harsh reality of a fast-changing smartphone industry, and its grip on the market had begun to loosen. The fall of BlackBerry. Despite facing major challenges, BlackBerry still held a strong position in the global market during the early 2000s. While it was losing ground rapidly in the United States, especially to Apple and Android phones, it was still popular in international markets like Indonesia, South Africa, and parts of Latin America, where people valued its secure messaging features and affordable models. However, the company was starting to fall apart from the inside. In 2011, BlackBerry's stock dropped nearly 80%, a sharp fall that signaled how quickly it was losing its lead. New smartphones from Apple and Android brands were offering better apps, touchscreens, and user experiences, and BlackBerry just couldn't keep up. Losses kept increasing, and it was clear the company needed a major change. One of BlackBerry's biggest failures during this time was the BlackBerry Playbook tablet launched after RIM bought the QNX operating system in 2010. There was a lot of hope that QNX would power a new generation of smart devices, but the Playbook had serious issues. It was expensive, had very few apps, and didn't even come with an email app at launch. These problems led to poor sales and made the device a commercial flop. In an attempt to bounce back, RIM introduced the BlackBerry 10 operating system in 2011 and officially rebranded itself as BlackBerry Limited in January 2013. The new OS was meant to compete with iOS and Android, and BlackBerry released several new phones using this system. While the design and features were improved, it was too late. The market was already filled with powerful and easy-to-use smartphones, and BlackBerry's new devices struggled to get attention. Even so, there was a brief moment of hope. Between October and November 2012, BlackBerry's stock jumped 46%, thanks to high expectations for BlackBerry 10. By January 2013, shares rose another 12%, as investors believed the new platform might help turn things around. But those hopes didn't last. The devices didn't sell well, and the number of users kept falling. In 2014, BlackBerry announced it was changing its focus from making phones to becoming a software and security company. The idea was to use its strength in secure communication to help businesses protect data and manage devices. While this shift brought some positive reactions and a few more stock price jumps, the company's overall performance stayed unstable. Investors weren't sure if the new direction would work, and many began to lose confidence. In short, while BlackBerry kept trying to recover and reinvent itself, it was fighting an uphill battle in a fast-changing tech world that had already moved on. What happened to BlackBerry after its fall? After its dramatic fall from dominance in the smartphone industry, BlackBerry didn't disappear. It began a slow but determined transformation. The downfall, caused largely by its failure to keep up with Apple's iPhone and the Android revolution, in 2016, BlackBerry made a bold decision that it would no longer make smartphones. Instead, it licensed its brand to other manufacturers, such as TCL, letting them produce phones under the BlackBerry name while it stepped away from hardware completely. This move marked the end of BlackBerry as a phone maker and the beginning of something new. Inside the company, leaders knew they had to focus on what BlackBerry had always been good at: security, encrypted communication, and reliable software. These strengths, especially in enterprise and government sectors, became the foundation of their new identity. Though its use in smartphones had failed, QNX was quietly becoming essential in other industries, especially automotive. Car manufacturers began using QNX to power infotainment systems, safety features, and autonomous vehicle technologies, making it a key player in the rapidly growing Internet of Things space. This strategic pivot marked the beginning of BlackBerry's second life. As of the mid-2020s, BlackBerry has fully exited the smartphone business and now focuses on IoT and cybersecurity services. According to its fiscal year 2024 report, BlackBerry earned its $853 million in total revenue, with $215 million coming from IoT and $378 million from cybersecurity. The IoT division even showed a small but positive $9 million year-over-year growth. Still, the company faces an uphill battle, not just in building new business, but also in shedding the image of a failed smartphone giant. Competing in fields like cybersecurity means going head-to-head with tech giants like Microsoft and Palo Alto Networks. Tech companies like Google and Meta have managed to reinvent themselves over the years, shifting from single products to broader ecosystems. BlackBerry hopes to follow a similar path, but it won't be easy. In 2023, the story of BlackBerry's meteoric rise and crushing fall was brought to life in the film BlackBerry, based on the book Losing the Signal. BlackBerry's journey is now a cautionary tale, but also a story of resilience. It shows how quickly technology changes and that success in the tech world isn't just about inventing something first, it is about constantly evolving. BlackBerry's story is one of innovation, dominance, downfall, and reinvention. From revolutionizing mobile communication to trying to find its place in the modern tech world, the company's journey reflects how quickly technology evolves and how crucial it is to adapt. While it may no longer make the phones it was once famous for, BlackBerry's legacy still lives on in the way we connect, work, and communicate today. If BlackBerry had taken the iPhone seriously from the start, do you think the smartphone landscape would look different today? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Until then, see you in the next video.